Hello everybody, Whimsy here, and we are back with the semi-crafty vlog. This week was Thanksgiving, so I actually spent a lot of time helping out in the kitchen and everything, mostly with desserts. And then the meal for this week, which is going to be the last one I'm going to do for a while because that was the November theme, I ended up doing an apple cider pot roast, which I spoke about in the last episode. As usual, you can check the timestamps down below to skip ahead, and also if you have an aversion to consuming meat, then you probably don't want to watch the video of me preparing the roast. So first, here's just me doing a bunch of dessert apple stuff, mostly apple stuff. Yeah, so for Thanksgiving, I didn't really do much, actually food stuff. I helped my mom with her apple pie that she was doing like an experiment. There was a recipe she found on Facebook that was like, you take pie crust, but you roll it up with like cinnamon in between, so it's like a cinnamon roll, and then you mash it down in the bottom and the top to make it look like it's like a swirly cinnamony thing. But I think we had too many apples, which was probably my fault, and then my mom had already mixed in the sugary concoction before we knew we had too many apples, so I don't know if the sugar didn't really get dispersed enough, and I thought I'd cut the apples thin enough to make them like more gooey when they get cooked, but they were still pretty crunchy. We're not a fan of crunchy apples. We like our apples to be nice and like almost like a jelly, or not jelly, but like, you know what I mean, like that consistency. So I helped her with that, and she was panicking because she didn't have enough pie crusts. She had to end up using, she actually found out she did buy enough, but like she did not realize how many pie crusts that was gonna take up, because the video didn't really show you, or it didn't show her rather, how much pastry you end up using, and it's a lot, because the regular pie crusts don't go very far, so I don't really know what they were using, or if they just made, I don't know, because they said go buy pie crusts, and it was like, but they weren't big enough, and they also weren't square, so that wasn't the problem. So she was kind of panicking about that, but I think I helped out by cutting up the apples and peeling them and all that. I was like, oh gosh. And then with the leftover apples, I actually made a, just a little, an apple wrap. I don't know. It was good though. This is the thing. So the apples in the pie didn't get cooked all the way, or at least they were kind of still crunchy, but the apples in that little wrap that I made were like perfect. So I don't know, maybe it was just because it was like too dense inside of the pie itself, but who knows. But the little thing, and the other thing is there wasn't enough sweetness in it, and I think also what didn't help was that it was Granny Smith apples, which I think is standard. But so it was very tart, but not really sweet, but that's okay. It was fine. And so what we should do next time is, if we were to do that idea, is maybe not do the cinnamon swirls, but instead put cinnamon and also sugar on top, because it didn't call for sugar. I don't know about like the white sugar or the brown sugar, like which one would be better. Probably brown. I think that's more common in cinnamon roll recipes. I've made cinnamon rolls like from scratch once in my life. They turned out really good. I think you put brown sugar in it. I don't really remember though. But what I was gonna say is, instead of rolling it up like that, just like kind of mush it into like a marble almost, like put it into the pastry so it's like a marbly cinnamony texture, but not necessarily like the you know, difficulty of making all those like rolls or whatever, and maybe a sweeter type of apple. And then I also made a raspberry pie, which I've done before, but finding raspberry pie filling was like, no one had it. We finally found it at Walmart, and I bought like 4 of them because I'm like, well, you usually make a pie out of 2, and I want to make one at Christmas, so, but like just pie filling, it's easy, and then you just put it in the pie. So that was really simple. The only problem was like trying to figure out the cooking time, was because there were no instructions on the can, and the last time I made a raspberry pie from like canned filling, it had the directions on the side, but this one didn't. So I was like, what do I do? So I'm just like, yeah, it was frustrating. Thankfully you didn't have to like cook the pie filling, it was already prepared, you just dump it in. We finally found like a roughly, I think it worked out because the pie was really good. Like it's still like, it's gooey and nice, and it's like, oh. And then on the day of, I made my apple cobbler that I've made before, and that usually turns out pretty good. It's really awesome. I actually made that last year for Thanksgiving, but it was a Thanksgiving that I went out to like a friend's place, which I didn't get to do this year, of course, because, you know, the first time I made it was last Thanksgiving, and it was very well received, so it was really cool. I did try to make it at Christmas again, but with a different, because like you're supposed to use a yellow cake mix for the topping, but I tried it with white cake because I was just curious to see the difference, and it was like not quite right, so I was like, okay, so definitely yellow cake, but no, it like balanced it just right, so it was like really good. And I used Gala apples. I can't remember if I've used them last time or not. Worked out. We couldn't find the allspice, but nutmeg works just as good, I think, so. Because that's the thing, is the first year that I made it, I couldn't find allspice, so I was like, I'm just gonna look up what's in allspice, and it was like mostly like nutmeg was one of the spices in it, and then the other one was like, I think cinnamon, and I was like, I've already got cinnamon as an ingredient, or something like that, I don't remember. So I just used nutmeg. It works just as good. I don't really know what's missing, honestly, so. And then not the next day, but Saturday, I made the apple cider pot roast. All right, so today we're going to be making an apple cider pot roast. I know what I'm doing. All right, so it's right here. I found it on Delish. Let's see. It's by Woman's Day Kitchen. Hopefully that's all correct. So our ingredients are apple cider, tomato paste, flour, Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, parsnips, sweet potatoes, onion, garlic, rosemary, and the roast. So once again, obviously I'm gonna be making like slight alterations to the recipe just for dietary requirements and all that. Also, as far as the sweet potatoes go, our store's sweet potatoes did not look great. So I grabbed, what did I grab? My grandma directed me over to like something very similar, which I think are like a kind of yam or something like that. They might be a little bit sweeter, we'll see. But like, I did not trust those sweet potatoes. I've never used sweet potato, but those sweet potatoes to me, they didn't look good. If potato is any indicator of how potato-based foods go, I don't know. I don't know if it's like called a potato, but it's really a this. All right, starts our crock pot. We got a million ingredients in front of me. Okay, big jug of apple cider, which was really difficult to find, hilariously. All right, I got this cool measuring cup. I saw it on Bolton Brown's show. I don't really need it, but it's fine. All right, and then that was probably not a good idea, but oh well. Yeah, the apple cider. I had a bunch during Halloween, and all of a sudden, we couldn't find any afterwards. So we went to like 5 different stores. So if you guys missed the last episode, I mentioned why I was doing this in particular. I was originally gonna do Thanksgiving food, like a Thanksgiving meal in the crock pot, even though Thanksgiving's already over. But I was like, oh, that might be kind of like a fun thing to do. But then I couldn't find a recipe, and then I found a recipe for this. And I was like, apple cider pot roast? I absolutely wish to try this. So I went with that. Tomato paste is tasty. I know I've done so much like kitchen stuff in the last day or two or whatever it is. Worcestershire, which is 2 tablespoons. Oh. Worcestershire is really good. No! We meet again. Just gonna do it like that, pour like half. Alright, so we whisk this. So we're going to whisk. I don't know how. Interesting smell. Alright, hopefully that is whisked enough. Yeah, I was gonna do this last night actually at midnight because I was awake and discovered that the sweet potatoes that I bought not even a week ago had already gone bad, so. I don't know, same store, so maybe there's some weirdness going on with their sweet potatoes. Alright, add the parsnips, sweet potatoes, onion, garlic, and rosemary. Okay, parsnips. How do I cut them? Do I? I don't know. It doesn't say. I guess up to my discretion. So I've never used one of these before. This is a parsnip. Have you ever seen a parsnip before? I assume they're... Ooh, they smell really good. They almost smell like a Sprite. Interesting. Are we just tossing them? Add them. Yeah, the parsnips didn't look great at the store, so hopefully they're good, but they smell good. They smell wonderful. It's like if a carrot had Sprite. It's more dense than a carrot, or it's like stiffer. Remember guys, be safe with knives. I apologize if for any reason I am not. Parsnip. Sweet potatoes. It does not say to skin them. I don't know if I should or not. Mom, would you skin a sweet potato?
I don't know about sweet potatoes. I hate them. So I don't eat them. So I would skin it. Ask Grams.
Hey, I have a quick question about the sweet potatoes I bought. Would you skin them first, or is it like not really a big deal?
Yeah, you have to be peeled, yeah.
They do?
Yeah, you can bake them in the oven with the skin on them, but when you're gonna put them in a casserole or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the crock pot, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta peel them.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
So Grandma says, probably skin them. I hope this was a good one, because it looks kind of icky. Yeah, the other ones were a little bit paler. I don't really know anything about sweet potatoes, so... There's that. Yeah, in the footage of me cutting or skinning the apples for the cobbler, I hope I wasn't like being completely silly and not using it right, or like, oh, there's such an easier way to do it. I don't have an apple peeler, so I don't know how they want me to cut everything. They're just saying add this, and it's like, okay, what does that mean? In what manner do you wish me to add it? Rude. Oh boy, this is a stiff. Hi, baby. Jeez, this thing is tough. Okay. God, this is one sweet potato right here. It looks like carrots. That's so funny. Sweet potatoes. They are very orange. Now again, I use green onion because it's safer on my tum-tum. Oh! And there go my eyes. See, I just don't want a lot of onion. Ah! My one weakness. I've succumbed. It's fine. Next ingredient. What is it? Garlic and rosemary. Okay, so we're gonna do this garlic oil. Do that. And then instead of rosemary, because like I said, I have not very fond of rosemary and stuff because it just overpowers it, I'm gonna use a little bit of thyme instead. I apologize if to any food people out there, if you're like, that's like the same thing, or da-da-da, or that's stupid. Sorry. One sprig? Oh, what? Why we gotta get into sprigs here? I'm gonna just do like a little, just that much, because that's all I want. And hey, the thyme was really good in the vegetables, so we're whisking it. Oh, it smells really good though. Yeah, it's very yellow orange. Oh no! Season the roast with 1 teaspoon each salt and pepper and nestle among the vegetables, so we don't have to cook it. Okay, so we've got our roast. I've defrosted it. It might still be a little frozen in some spots. Pepper. Oh, it's still very hard. Oh no. You know. I've seen people do this. Alright, nestle among the vegetables. Cook covered until the meat is tender, 6 to 7 on high or 8 to 9 on low. Set that in there. Oh my god. Alright. So now we are putting the lid on it. Alright, and we're gonna put it on high for 7 hours. Alright, so here's the food on a plate. It's hard to see, sorry, there's just weird lighting. I'm sitting at the couch in my living room. Alright, so we're gonna take, yeah, the meat like just completely fell apart. Like, look at that, it's just, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like totally just all falling apart. Oh my god, that's sweet, very good. This is a parsnip. This is my first time ever trying a parsnip. Yeah, not bad. Zoe wants to say hi. What? And here's a sweet potato. Hi. Sweet potato. Oh, it's very rich, but it's very good. It's definitely very sweet, but it's kind of cool. This would probably make a better like side dish than a main course, but I think it'd be really cool. And I think it's got like a good like level of sort of like spices and stuff to it. Awesome. This is definitely something I would probably make again. So that was a lot of fun. It turned out really good. I actually had some again today. The only problem is today my stomach has just felt so sour. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something I ate or just like, hopefully it's not the food. I don't think it would be, but who knows? It could be that there are ingredients in that maybe I haven't looked at and it's like, oh shoot, I shouldn't be eating that. Parsnips are interesting. They're like just like sweet carrots or something like that's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, so now that November has pretty much, I mean, tomorrow's the last day of November. Yeah, I'm gonna be changing what we're working on each vlog day, weekend, whatever, for December, which is going to be probably like baking, which I know that's more cooking, but like it's gonna be more, or like dessert making, I'm not really sure. More still stuff in the kitchen, but like more hands-on, I guess, because like obviously crockpot stuff is like, well, I mean, I guess you still are hands-on, but like I guess more of a process. I don't know. I like baking. I've done a lot of baking. I might actually try maybe for this coming weekend because I made a raspberry pie, but I made it with a pie filling that took a little difficulty to find. I might actually try to make a raspberry pie from scratch and see if I can master how to make a filling and all that stuff. Because raspberry is one of my favorite flavors. I'm really texture oriented with food, and a lot of fruit just, first of all, a lot of fruit can mess up my stomach, but also the texture's like, oh. There was one year where I bought a pie filling that was just liquid with raspberries in it. It wasn't like a gel that was already ready. It had to be like cooked with cornstarch, which I think we botched, I don't remember. But like, I remember when cooking it, all the raspberries that were still in there just kind of fell apart. So you don't really feel the texture of them. It's more just they've all, you know, kind of like just become like one same consistency. Pies, I'm like iffy on pies. I don't know. It's a very particular thing, but like cherry pie, for example, sounds great, and so, or blueberry, but like I don't want actual chunk of fruit. I want it to be like blended in so well that I don't feel the texture of the fruit. But it's like to come by that is like, oh, probably impossible. So there you go. That's why raspberries are perfect, and I just like raspberry flavor. It's one of my favorite things. I actually just recently found out that there are raspberry Pop-Tarts, thanks to Markiplier's most recent Pop-Tart video. It's ridiculous. But like, I was like, wait, there are raspberry Pop-Tarts? I mean, they're not everywhere. Obviously, it's not one of the popular flavors. So, I still haven't gotten my snack crate video out, and I filmed it over 2 weeks ago, and I feel silly. I don't have any more tea boxes right now, so I'll at least not have to worry about that. But I have the snack crate that I got 2 weeks ago. I have to still post the video for that. I still have to finish editing it. But this has to come first because it's like, I don't want to post it on Tuesday again. But my next snack crate's already here and I haven't opened it yet because I'm like, dang it, I still gotta get the last one out. So hopefully I can get that out on like week 2 of December. I'll have to get the previous one out this week. And it sucks because the previous one was October's box. So it's like way late. It's not late. It was late because it got stuck in customs, but it's not like bad. It's like, no, I get it. I think I might suspect where my crate is from this month because of something that is said on the top of the package, but I won't say until I'm opening it. I also have simple fun things planned for Christmas Eve and for Christmas for videos. Hopefully I can get that all taken care of. It'll probably be filmed way beforehand, but it's nothing like super different. It's just like, you know, themed for Christmas and all that. Because it's once again Sunday and I'm filming and it's terrible. So I just now painted a top layer of gold on this, so I'm finally getting to the actual paint part. And I think this worked out because it you know, blends in pretty dang well, I think. I mean, it still needs, you can see the white on the viewfinder. I can't see it personally, but I'm sure, okay, yeah, from a distance I can see it. You can still see the white of the paint. So it's gonna have a couple more coats, but this concept seems to have worked. Like, you know, you can't see the, I mean, it's gonna be thick. There's the perspective or depth perception. It's a little bit thick, but it's like, it hides the stupid fishing line. So that's kind of what the point was. So I will probably be doing this concept to the other ones as well. The other ones might be a little more difficult because of positioning and such, but yeah. Well, sorry, once again, this vlog's probably not that interesting because stuff got away from me. But you know, with like holidays and stuff, it happens. Also, the reason why today's vlog got away from me was because I'm still like fiddling around with Premiere Pro, and it's probably a good time to do it because I actually tested out my first Let's Play on Premiere. It'll be out because it's already live. It was a Super Mario Maker 2 episode, which I'd been planning for a while, and I think I mentioned it. and I really enjoyed filming it, and I enjoyed editing it. I mean, well, I didn't thoroughly enjoy editing it because there were a lot of problems, but I think there are things that I need to just learn. But I think because there was so much footage and the way I compressed it, like, or not compressed it, but put it together, the program was having a hard time reading it, so I had to keep restarting it, so I was like, oh my gosh. And then rendering it took like 4 hours, so that was great. I think I just put like the wrong settings for like the finalization of it, and I'm just like, ugh. Unless it just, that's how it handles a picture-in-picture over a video type of thing, so we'll see. But editing it was great, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I know it's long, but like, you can always watch it in parts, I guess, I don't know. But it's basically me going through my first 5 levels of my 40 level world, because they're complete, so they're all uploaded now too, so you can play them if you guys want, unless you want to wait until I'm done with the whole thing. Who knows when that's gonna be. I usually play Mario Maker when I'm just kind of like, I'm laying in bed. Like, that's the nice thing about the Switch, is like if you're laying in bed, like not feeling well, and you're like, oh, I can just open up my Switch and do stuff. Alright, so added another layer. You can still kind of see through. I think I'm gonna add one more. I think I did 3 layers of paint. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. Because I wanted it to like not have anything see through. So I'm gonna do one more layer for that. And also, there's some gesso got on these, so I'm gonna fix that too. Another thing I want to get back into is drawing, but like not like I did for October, but just, you know, I haven't drawn anything since that last picture, so I don't know. It comes and goes, but like there's at least one not safe for work drawing that I need to actually get colored or digitized or whatever. And I'm probably gonna film the process of that, but it's probably gonna be posted on Patreon only, so there's that. And the picture itself too once it's done. I wish I'd recorded the actual like sketching process, but I think did I talk about this? I don't remember. It was, I drew it while I was partially drunk and I was in bed, laying on my back, drawing, because I was like, I really want to draw. Sometimes when I drink, I get like super creative all of a sudden. I'm like, I want to draw, and so I ended up drawing something very suggestive. It's not full on like, you know, but it's definitely not safe for work. So, but I was really impressed with it because the angle was like, whoa, like the angle of the drawing. And I think that's what helped, was like, because I was laying down looking up, and it's like the picture is looking up at someone, so it was like the perspective was like, I just drew it on like, this seems like this makes sense, and it was like, wow, it actually worked. So I don't know, I think it's just like my brain, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, it's like, I think it's my brain's not afraid to make mistakes like in drawing, or like for things to look weird at first, but then they become, you know, what they turn into, whereas my normal brain is like, oh, it looks stupid, but it's like, but that's the foundation of what I need to start with, you know, like, or just figure out where things are placed. So I don't know. It's like positioning is better, which is funny because that's not really how drinking works. That is, of course, not encouraging people to get drunk and then try to draw. Like, that's not, don't do that. That happens maybe twice a year for me. So like, no, drink responsibly, everybody. So yeah, we might have some new crochet projects. I gotta finish this coat. It's just been difficult, like, because I've been avoiding doing anything where I'm like looking down, like straining my neck, and my back's not been as bad this past week, so that's been good. And I've been at the computer for a long time, so it's definitely not computer stuff, but I'm still looking into getting a good chair. We'll see if that goes through. Yeah, okay, so I was gonna do actual painting today, and I just remembered, but like I said, I have not had the energy. Today's been kind of rough, like I said, on my stomach, and then the past few days I've been trying to edit and film and all this stuff, so. I'm trying to get the vlog back on Saturdays. I feel really bad that it slipped so badly. Also, the whole thing with like the crockpot stuff is like, I would be wanting to do it at a time, and then that wouldn't happen, and then I'd be like, oh shoot, I gotta like do it later or whatever, depending on how long it took to cook the thing too. That's the other thing too. And it's like, I could do stuff, like there was the one day with the stew, I actually was able to like work on crafts while it was cooking, but no other day was I able to do that with any other thing. So it's like, oh god. And then you had incidences like what happened this week with the pot roast, which, like I said, sweet potatoes went bad. When I went back to the store, all the like, they didn't have a lot of sweet potatoes left, and all of them looked really questionable, and I was just like, My grandma's like, try these. These are what I use for sweet potato stuff. But like, I think it was like some form of a yam, like a red sweet yam or something like that. And they were right next to the sweet potatoes. And I'm like, well, it can't be too different. So sure, I'll go with that. And that might have been why it was sweeter. But I mean, they didn't look questionable. So it's like, all right. Also, it said 2 medium sweet potatoes. I'm like, what the heck is a medium sweet potato? Because these ones are gigantic. Like, they are huge. Like, they were about this big. And I don't know if that's like... And that's like a big solid potato. This is a soft yarn that's like pleasant and stuff. So like, I don't know what a medium, you know, like they're all these giant, what is that, you know, like, I don't know. We also learned that the leftover purple potatoes from the previous thing, we made them into mashed potatoes. They weren't great. It was like, no, this is a potato that needs to be more like cut up into like a solid thing, not mashed. But the golden ones were great though. We had those. It was funny though because we had 3 different colors of mashed potato for Thanksgiving. So like we had regular like off-white, and then we had the golden ones which were like all yellow, and then the purple ones which were obviously purple. And I'm like, I had one of each, and it looked like I'd gone to like Baskin Robbins and I had like scoops of ice cream because of those different colors. Just like, oh my god, that's different. But the gold ones were really good, so that was like, okay, those would work. The purple ones are better, like cut up and still like relatively solid. Well, this episode was much more of a food thing, I guess, so I apologize that once again it got away from me. It is still a vlog though, so like talking is part of it. I think I need to work on Subnautica, and now that it's gonna be December again, I'll probably get back into Minecraft and Morrowind, but maybe not as like, because those were good filler videos, but like I didn't want to like just, especially after Halloween, just do a bunch of them, because that's just like, no, people aren't gonna like that. Maybe they will, I don't know. Let me know if you enjoy Morrowind or Minecraft. I know there are people who like Minecraft, because it usually gets like 2 or 3 comments per video at least, so. Sly Cooper, I at least have material already filmed, I just have to edit it. And then Saints Row and all that, and then we'll see what else we get into. What's interesting is, this past couple weeks, I've really realized that one of the things I really enjoy doing, and I wish I could make a living off of, is video editing. Honestly, like it's a lot of fun. It's something I've obviously done for like 5 years now, and I'm hoping that with new software I can learn better techniques, or like, you know, new stuff to like amp up my portfolio, I guess. Is my YouTube channel a portfolio? For that, I wouldn't even know. Don't look at the old stuff, it's terrible. So sorry. Yeah, video editing is fun. I like it, and it's kind of like its own art form, you know, and like you have the material of what was filmed, but then you have to like also kind of like enhance it, you know. And that's what I felt like with that Mario Maker episode. I was like, this is like, I'm having a lot of fun doing this, you know, like, and that would be something I would love to do for a living, but it's like, that I'm sure it's probably a tough market. I don't know, maybe, but like, the pros are like good at this stuff, you know, so it's like to compete with that is like daunting, but I mean, with practice, but each person's gonna bring their own thing to the table, so there's that too. But like, that's something I was like, if I could somehow do video editing, like that would just be, even if it was just for my own channel and I was getting paid to do it, because like people like my videos type of thing, would be like awesome. But like, you know, even if I was editing videos for someone else and getting paid to do it, that'd be great, you know, kind of thing. Like my boss was trying to help me get into that. Maybe not in the YouTube sense, but like doing video editing for clients and stuff like that. And I did for a little while, but it was like not really anything super consistent, so. But it was like, I liked getting paid to do that, so I was like, this is really cool. Like, this was a hobby, and now I'm kind of making some money off of it. But that, like I said, it was like a few little times here and there. And it wasn't like hardcore editing like what you would do for a YouTube video. It was like simple stuff, but even then it was stuff that I knew how to do, so. That was the benefit. I'm hoping my videos become more interesting and maybe more like exciting and stuff, because I know that they can be kind of with the flow, I guess. Not saying it's like maybe boring, but like, you know, when you're doing like especially with Let's Plays, you've got moments in the game where you're just like plugging along, just playing, but if nothing interesting's happening, you like cut that, or it's like you do something to make it interesting. I don't know, that's a different beast entirely. But anyway, I am probably gonna go lay down, maybe play some Minecraft before I do. It's like I just haven't been feeling great today. I'm excited for December. Hopefully we can get a bunch of fun stuff done, maybe make some treats and stuff. I won't be doing food stuff again for a while after December, most likely, because I know that's probably boring. Trying to expand my abilities in not just crafts, but I mean, I don't know, food's an art form, right? I know it's a craft vlog, but still it's kind of like adjacent to art. I don't know. I mean, crafts can be a person's art. There you go. You know, it's like, I mean, crochet is crochet considered a craft or an art? It can be both, I think. You know, it's, yeah, cosplay can be an art, but also a craft, you know, whatever. But yeah, just broadening my abilities, I suppose. But of course, not to spread myself too thin, which I think I'm at risk of doing a lot. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys had a good week and were safe and everything. And also for January, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but for January, because it's like the first month of the new year type of thing, I'm gonna try crafts that I've never done before. So if you guys have any suggestions, you can put it in the comments below and I'll consider it. I mean, it would have to be something that I would have interest in, but like, you know, I'll definitely look into like suggestions and stuff, because it's gotta be stuff that I've never tried before. So, you know, like, it sounds kind of cool. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check the description below for information and links and all that sort of thing. And check the links at the end of the video to check out other videos that I've done. And I will see you guys next time, and until then, stay one circle. Exact details of everything. Oh my god. Alright, so we got our usual little bag. The first thing that comes to my eye is cinnamon pumpkin rose. Oh my god, you guys know I love rose. I also love cinnamon. So that is gonna be really exciting.